Morning. It is Tuesday the 25th of April 2017. Another update on the Bullfinch breeding season. I've got other birds there as well, as you've seen in the other videos. Every one of them bar the canaries doing absolutely fuck all. So no point in talking about them. There is one pair of goldfinches I think is starting to build a nest. Everything else seems to be just fucking about, so we'll see what happens. With regards to the bullies, 2 of the 3 native bullfinch pairs have a nest built. I was expecting eggs this morning. In fairness, I was out there at 5:45. There was no eggs, but there's a strong possibility there could be eggs there now when I go to check later on. So this one here is just a video to update the egg food mix. I've made 2 of them so far, I think. I don't use Pearly Morbid anymore. I found when I was using it, it made absolute shite of the birds. Literally, they either got blocked up or they were shitting it over the side like there was no tomorrow. Maybe it was me getting the mix wrong, maybe it was me not using it right, I don't know, but I've had so many different people telling me from different various places that they've had similar results using it, so I gave up on it in the end. The one thing I haven't used this year that I normally would use is the soft bill paste, so the insect paste, pardon me. The missus has gone away, she's heading off home there to Hungary, so she'll bring back a 5 kilo bag of that. And that'll be me back to normal. I did start using the frozen pinkies and frozen buffaloes. They seem to be going down fairly well-ish. I don't know, again, bullies are eating them, goalies are eating them, even the canaries, in fairness. The canaries have fed them to the chicks, and the chicks come along leaps and bounds, so I'd probably keep adding them to the canary mix, definitely, and the bully mix when they get chicks kind of going now next week or so. So yeah, I think we're just going to crack on with everything else. So what I'm doing at the moment, this is Deli Nature egg food. That's it's a Chinese tray, so whatever your Chinese comes in, I filled one of those and put that in. This is white perilla seed. I started using this last year, and I found that if the bird had any loose droppings, even just without breeding season, if the bird had loose droppings, if I gave it perilla seed, it would firm up fairly quick. So I decided that'd be something that should go in here, just because with chicks and so on, you never know. I've also spoken to what I would consider a fairly good goldfinch breeder. He's from South America. He came over a couple of years ago and he knows his stuff, in fairness to him, so I kind of listened to himself. He advised to use white perilla in your egg food, so that's what I'm doing. It does the job. The bullies love it. All the birds seem to love it. Also, we have blue maw. Now, this is basically poppy seed. So it's a tenner for a small tub, so it's fucking expensive, but again, does the job. So what I do is I put 4 tablespoons into that mix, and that's pretty much that. Toddle it around a wee bit. That's it. Calcium powder, Deli Nature this time. Normally I use Calciulux or whatever I can get my hands on. This will do the job. So, like so. 1 teaspoonful or tablespoonful does the job. Probezoin. This shit is fucking amazing. I sound like one of those fucking wankers that are getting paid for this, and I'm not. But Probezoin was something that I've been using for the last 3 years. And I found that if I kept the good bacteria in the gut of the bird, I had very few birds getting sick. So there's 2.5 scoops gone into that. That big tub again, I get it in Hungary. You can get it here in Ireland, but I think it's for one of the smaller tubs was something like 30 quid, and that big tub in Hungary was, I think it was 11 something. So yeah, fuck you Ireland. Rip off Republic and all that bollocks. So as far as the buffalo worms, I'll do a handful. It's pretty much the norm. Fuckers come out. So that there will do everything, all the birds, until they have chicks, in which case they get an individual drawer full of them. And and the same with the pinkies. Handful, in they go. Now I am using them directly frozen because this won't be going into them for another while yet. Now, just trying to find where there it is. I'm looking for my oil. I left it outside. Okay. Right, another thing that I normally moisten this with, I don't moisten it with water. That was again, I was looking at the egg food itself, and you'd have to replace it a couple of times a day because it starts to smell depending on what you're using it, and you'd notice obviously it was going off. So what I did was I started dropping in maybe half a tablespoonful of wheat germ oil in it and moisten it up, and what that does is obviously it glistens this, it ups the bird's fertility as well. I've been using it on the seed and everything else over the past while, so that seemed to work fairly well. Now the next thing is 2 colanders. This has pigeon conditioner mix in it. Some people call it sneaky mix. I have it there just starting to sprout, and the bullies absolutely fucking devour it. When I say devour it, I mean they left absolutely fuck all in there in the last 2 weeks, so that's that going in there. Keep it strained, keep it rinsed, the usual with that stuff. And then the same then, just normal canary soap seed. In you go. That'll do that. Now, petit pois peas. Same as always, just strain them off. I should have strained it off and I'd be able to go, here's some I prepared earlier. Fucking Blue Peter badge for me, what? So that's it, mix them in there like that. Now it's not, I mean, some people would say it's an exact science. It's not really. What you look at is what do the birds eat in the wild and try and replicate that. Protein early in the, or coming up to the breeding season, they build the protein up. Bullies in particular, they need buds, fruit buds, apple buds and other bits and pieces to go along like that. And that's, I mean, keep giving them the buds as they go on, because as the buds develop, if you notice in the wild, that has to be something changing in their physical state that will trigger the breeding season or trigger their breeding responses, which is what's been going on. So that will be that. I give them as many branches as I possibly can. I'd say maybe 5 to 10 per pair per day. There's a little orchard in next door where I am. The place is really fucking bare. And berries. Now that's raspberries. I also use blackberries. They also get live mealworms, broccoli, apple, pear and cucumber. And away over here on the hob is a boiled egg in the boiling. What I will do is I'll leave the boiled egg until basically I'm boiling for tomorrow. I'll leave it to cool down overnight and then mix it in with a fresh batch of egg food in the morning. But that's basically everything. You do get green beans as well. You can get that, everything there goes, you get it in little and so on. Now, with regards to the water, this is something that I've started using in the last year or so, is Belgasol. It's not a medication, it's electrolytes. And what it does is, I've always asked the question, if a bird goes light, how do you get weight back onto it? Everybody goes, give them medication, give them this, give them that. And yeah, true, if a bird has a bacterial infection, you need to treat the bacterial infection. But that doesn't put muscle back on them. The Belgasol basically replaces all the electrolytes that they've lost, especially if you've got hens that are feeding chicks, or a bird that has been sick. It'll plump back up and it'll be fucking gleaming within a couple of days. I use, there's 30 mil to them, and it's 2 of those to a litre of water, or 2 of those to 2 litres of water, pardon me. And they get that once a week. If they're in the breeding season like they are now, they get it 3 times a week. Also, what's that? Avigold Advance. dogs, bollocks. I was using other bits and pieces over the last couple of years for multivitamins in the water. That stuff does the job. 10 squirts to 2 litres of water. It smells like all the other stuff, but it doesn't turn the drinkers off. You'd see like you get a gunge build up after a day or two. That doesn't happen with this stuff, so that's easy enough to do. And that's pretty much it. So what with regards to feeding, any birds out there that don't any birds that don't have chicks will basically get 2 of them per pair, and they won't get any more now until it's gone, and it'll be gone by tomorrow, by this afternoon. When they have chicks, the canaries out there, even with that mix there with the big stuff in it and the peas and everything, the canaries have fucking devoured it. So I'll keep that going for the canaries. Their chicks, their chicks seem to develop a lot quicker. They got a lot bigger, and it's all, I think, down to that particular egg food mix there. I'm looking forward to seeing how the bullies work on it. As I said, the bullies are the first round of bullies are due to hatch out now next Wednesday, so we'll see how that goes and see what happens. But yeah, anything else, give me a shout. Drop me a comment. I'm surprised people actually leave a comment. That's kind of nice. So yeah, any questions, give me a shout. I don't always see them as on time, so a couple of days late, but I will reply to you if I see it. Any questions, let me know. Let me know how you're getting on as well. You know, I'm on a couple of forums and I have a chat with some of the lads. I'm by no means an expert. I would say that I kind of specialise in bullfinches simply because that's mainly what I keep, but I'm not a specialist expert type thing. It's just a case that I've got more bullies than anything else. So yeah, let me know how you get on, see what the crack is, and yeah, I'll keep an update. Actually, probably put an update later on about what's going on in the shed. So yeah, cheers.